been watching you for a long time, at least 3 or 4 years now.
Okay.
But I never really got to talk to you much. Now I get to see you. I talk to you a little bit. And I know what you're about, but I don't think a lot of other people know what you're about. And I want a little bit of your time to get what you're about out there.
Now, if you want me to do it tonight, I'll go ahead and do it. Let me turn this TV down.
That's what I hope for when I call people. I don't want you to be scripted. Every time I look at you, you're moving. You're out there, lunch boxes, jackets, food, everything.
Yes, sir.
For people all the time, and I'm like going, I want to know number one, how you get the energy to do all you do. That's number one thing. Number two, I want to know what I know the good Lord has inspired you, but I want you to share just a little bit of that and a little bit of time, all that you can. Just share with us. Not everybody has what you have. No, not everybody can go up and create an event and have a bunch of people show up with a bunch of needed items, backpacks, jackets for people that need it, and food.
Yeah.
No, we're not even going to go there because there's a lot of people that need food.
Yes, sir.
How do you do what you do, sir? I want to know. I want to know what's going on.
Well, what drives me is, I guess, I care about people, and I've been in a situation where a lot of people I help today. I used to be in that position as a kid, and I know the struggle. And but we made it, and it's because of the values my mother taught me for caring for other people, helping other people, not taking money from people when you do something for them or they ask you to do something for them, especially the elderly. And so it kind of stuck with me, along with me not having a lot of things, plus what my mother was teaching me about always there to help others, even though we was in the same situation. We were taught to still help with what we had, and what we could do is it wasn't just to go into the store. I used to go around and bake cakes and stuff from different people's houses, and they, some would just put money in my pocket, some wouldn't, and it's just something I grew up love doing and love caring for people because I know how it is to be in need of certain things. So. You said it earlier, it's Christ also motivates me, and the energy comes just the love of knowing that you can help someone. It could be any phase of their life, from getting a record seal because they made a mistake, and now they're trying to make a change in their life, and I see the seriousness of the individual, and so I try to connect with as many resources as I can, so I can be able to help people. So if you need a job, if you made a mistake and you need your record sealed, I can try to get that done for you. I try to connect with people that's why I share a lot of the things that the ESA do, because I want people to know that there are jobs out there, there's training out there, and this is what's available to you. And so, like tomorrow, we were scheduled to pick up furniture. But if something happened with the truck, so we have to do it Saturday. But we give away furniture because there are people that can't afford furniture. And I learned, and somebody asked me one time, well, how you get to know all these different people that you work with? Because I feel that they have a brand and I have a brand. And my brand is to serve people, and their brand is to serve people. And so what I do, I connect with those that serve people. If I find out there's someone out there that like the food bank is giving away food, I want to connect with the food bank. If I find out that we need more medical attention down here in Southeast Arkansas, I connect with like UAMS. I'm ambassador for UAMS.
Let's talk about that for a second, because there's a lot of things I know about you that we ain't even got to yet because we hadn't had time yet. It takes time to unroll what all you do.
Right.
But I've seen pictures of you being a barber, but I've also seen pictures of you being on the governor's boards, appointed by the governor.
Yeah.
And I know tell me about that, the governor's board, but also tell me about that barber part. Cause I think
When I was a barber, that was my main job when I got the service. I first of all worked with APNF for 5 years, and I ended up getting my license as a barber and a cosmetologist. So by doing that, it gave me an opportunity to meet a lot of different people and hear a lot of people's stories and their needs, because being a barber, being a cosmetologist, you hear families and you hear children, you hear dads and moms and individuals about what they're going through, what they're going through, and they always want to share that with me. So I did that for 20-some years. Plus, I was involved with our church, with the youth, with our youth in the church, and so I started doing that. And then what was that you asked? The second part of that you asked me?
Well, of course, one you've already answered about the barber, but the other part is, you're on various committees with the governor. The governor, and I thank him for that. Now, the board I really want to be on is what I love doing, is dealing with. I like dealing with the people that people don't like dealing with, like people with criminal minds or have done. Because I used to be a juvenile intake and probation officer, and I like dealing with people that no one else likes to deal with, like people that's been incarcerated and stuff, like trying to help them out. But the governor, he saw fit to put me on 2 boards, which I really like. But like I said, I really want to be on the criminal justice side. But he put me on the Arts Council, which I'm glad he did, because it taught me so much about the arts. Anything from museums to music, concerts, portraits, just art in general. And then I'm on the Black History Commission, which it helps me in knowing about the true history of what we went through as African Americans or Black people. And so I thank him for that, because I learned so much on both of those, the council and the commission. And so that's how I got started on that. And matter of fact, they emailed me about a month ago, wanted me to be the chair of the Governor's Award for Art that's coming up, I think is in November. Hey,
and so
here's the deal right here. That's big, and let's come back to that. But you spoke something that kind of hung out to me. And, of course, as an employer, I've worked for a long time and met a lot of people looking for work. Mm-hmm. And the number one thing that holds them back sometimes is a criminal background. Mm-hmm. And, of course, my credit background or your credit background is going to be cleared up to 7 years. But a lot of times I find young men that are stuck with a criminal background, 15 years old.
Right.
Way too old. It shouldn't be there.
Right.
And I like what you said about that, because there's a lot of yeoman's work that you've done with that, the best that you could. Just tell us about what's been your experience with trying to help get people erase their background erased or expunged.
Well, and I have to always mention God. God have always positioned me, no matter what I choose to do or desire to do, God always put me in a position so I can be able to do it. And I'm in a position now that I know a lot of legislators, and then I know a lot of entities outside of the legislative branch, but have kind of ties with the legislative branch, such as, let's say, American for Prosperity. They're trying to help disenfranchised people, or let's say the Arkansas Legal Justice. I've worked with them and to get records sealed. So with the politics part, the legislator, I've been a part of several bills to help with certain, I guess, what I would say, records that was hard to get sealed. But by me knowing legislators and working with entities like American Prosperity, we went in and talked to some legislates about what we desire and what's hindering a lot of people from getting their record sealed so they can go on and live a productive life, because we see a lot of people was locked up and being released, and they had this record over their head. And so one of the bills we passed, helped pass, and was a part of, and Senator Boyd had a big, Fort Smith had a big role to play in that, is with the last bill we got that turned into law, it was we were able to get over 65,000 Arkansans records sealed. And since I work for Arkansas Legal Services, not work for them, I partner with them. You know, they allow me to do record sealings on an individual basis, because a lot of times people won't come out if an attorney would do it, or someone that nature that's connected to the courts, because they don't trust them. They feel that they're going to try to do something to hurt them, and that's just the mentality of it. So it gives me an opportunity to work with them and talk to them and tell them about jobs and tell them how to get your record sealed and how you can get your record sealed if you didn't get it sealed this time around, and all that type of thing. So I like to work with people on an individual and personal basis. So like I said, God positioned me to be in a position that I can, like the George Floyd situation, that I was able to work with some legislators, get some things passed for police officers and for their safety and the community safety. And a lot of people don't know that about me, that I have those type of connections, that they respect my voice. And sometimes they call me and say, well, what do you think? Or can you get some people together and come up here and let's talk about how we can get this changed so people can go on with their lives by getting their record sealed or things of that nature. So, again, I mean, I just love trying to help people. And I know people have a lot of needs. And when God puts you in a position that you're connected with the resources, and like I said earlier, and I don't know if I finished telling you, but one of my friends in the ministry, he said, how you get the ministry flourishing like you do? You do so much. Well, I tell her I'd like to connect with entities that we can connect with each other and get the job done. So, and I know that's the way we do it. And sometimes in the religious realm, we want to kind of stay to ourselves and do what we can, in the church. But we have to learn to work outside of the church with other entities to make things happen.
Yeah, and that seems to be big of what you do. Now, you mentioned in November you had something going up with the Arts Council. Tell me what that was, Mr. Lattimore. I forgot.
They having, and I was surprised that they asked me, and I'm honored. But every year they have the best artists in the state of Arkansas, and what I'll be doing is chairing the committee, and they'll choose the best artists they feel, and then in November we'll have, I think it's in November, we'll have a dinner for them for the best artists in the state of Arkansas. And that could be anything from potter, or what you call a porter, or paintings, or anything.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good stuff that goes on in Arkansas. Now, you talked about being on the African American history thing, and of course, I didn't know much about things, and I still don't know anything about things. Okay, but now I have listened to a lot of recorded speeches. And I got to see the records in Bradley County and Ashley County of things that happened a long time ago. But I've seen people that come from the most obscure, hard living, and I always use B.B. King as a good example. I went over and I toured kind of where he grew up and where his museum was at, and then I walked into his museum one day over there, and he was in Paris, France, and he had on a triple silk suit just for him, and working over there in Paris, France, playing shows, playing. $1,500 a head. This was before he passed away, back in 14, 15. $1,500 a head. Went and saw this man from over in Mississippi.
Wow.
And of course, I don't care if you're pink with big ears. If you can get that to happen, you've done some very impressive things.
Yes, sir.
And of course, I think there's a lot of people that identify or that we call African American that have done such great things. And I know you've learned a lot, and I sure would love to hear about some of the people in Arkansas or other ones that you've heard about that just really stand out.
Well, the people that stand out to me, basically, I had mentors back in the day, which was my pastor, but the person that motivates me when you talk about, our history and how others that's doing well, such as B.B. King, but one of my favorite people is Frederick Douglass, and he came up in a hard situation when you talk about slavery, but he became a freed man, and he did it because he was motivated to do it. He had that drive to do it. He wouldn't let nothing stop him. Nothing that he was afraid of and stop him. He was so just that drive and setting himself free. And then when he set himself free, you look at the accomplishments he made, having a savings and loan and a publishing company and all that type of thing. So he motivates me because he did it at a time where it was hard to get things done or see things change in your life because you're a particular color. And I don't feel that color should never be I won't say excuse, but something that we use to keep us from getting a part of America, the American dream.
Yeah.
Don't let nothing stop you. You got to have that drive and that motivation and that push that you want something so bad that you're not going to let anything deter you or stop you. And so, a lot of things have passed me by in my older age, but I try to tell our young people that and try to tell our young people, don't look at history as a point of you staying where you are. But look at all the people who came, beat all the odds. B.B. King had to beat all the odds. If B.B. King would have thought about using his excuses, he wouldn't have been over there where you're talking about he was. He wouldn't be wearing that stick of flute. He wouldn't have a guitar named Lucille and everybody know what the name of it. He wouldn't make the hits he made if he had let what he went through stopped him from getting to his dream as being a singer, being a blues singer. And so when I look at people who make it, it always, and it's even before me, I can make it too. If they can do it, I can do it. Make it. It always, and it's even before me, I can make it too. If they can do it, I can do it. Make it. It always, and it's even before me, I can make it too. If they can do it, I can do it. Make it. It always, and it's even before me, I can make it too. If they can do it, I can do it. Make it. It always, and it's even before me, I can make it too. If they can do it, I can do it. Make it.